on the last issue of RPG, our intrepid gooners were hired by a mysterious villain to cause some uproar in their hometown of New York City. By any means necessary, they were given two options: either stir up trouble in Times Square or stir up trouble on Liberty Island, both of which were seemingly they're sort of like high population points that would cause the most uproar from the citizens, while this mysterious employer of yours does something shady in the background. What they're doing, you were not given the details of. It is on a need to know basis. But what you did know was you had to make some noise and make it fast. So, going to you ended up wanting to drive to Liberty Island. I believe you were dead set on that. But you let Gucky drive the mean machine in its copter mode, and you guys ended up not at Liberty Island, but you guys ended up sort of having a collision with the Freedom Tower, the One Trade Center. It's not a repeat of what's happened before. The whole tower hasn't come down and killed millions. You just sort of inconvenienced a single floor of office workers there, scaring them off, causing a bit of a stir. If this was like Grand Theft Auto, that would be like maybe teetering on 2 stars. That's not enough, and also you weren't where you needed to be. So what was that?
I was just gonna say, I think the helicopters only come out at like 4.
Well, these were news helicopters, not
Mm-hmm.
not military helicopters.
That's
Big
right.
difference. So listen, I'm the DM, and if you interrupt me again, I will fucking kill you. Just kidding. But yeah, so there was some news copters that were like, this is important. The last time this happened in New York, it sort of was a big deal if anyone missed it. But they didn't want to do that again, and the news was all over you. But the Mean Machine, it's a good vehicle, but the helicopter parts are broken, and you needed to get to Liberty City quickly. So instead of trying to fix it or do anything like that, you simply took a working helicopter, which is one of the news helicopters, and you fucking masterfully piloted it all the way like a beeline to Liberty Island, which we fact checked geographically. Once you got there, you started a bit of a panic because you also crashed that helicopter, this time on purpose to make a big entrance. Did a cool supervillain landing, and you caught the attention of a superhero that's been around for a little bit, simply goes by Wukong. With his Journey to the West theming, he is a man from the future who uses technology and knowledge of where he's from to help keep the timeline going where it should be. And he's been causing you a bit of trouble. Your plan to make a big stir was to tear down the Statue of Liberty. And he's tried to stop you, and this is where you found out that living up to his name, he is able to make clones of himself, much like the mythological character could. And you've been just fighting an army of cybernetic monkey-themed fellows. And that is where we left off. It's sort of been, I'm not going to say a super stalemate, you guys are getting the edge a little bit, but it's sort of been a back and forth of like, no one's sure who's really winning. It hasn't been clear cut, because anytime you guys smash down a couple of his clones, he just makes more. But there's got to be a limit, or there's got to be a weakness, so just keep trying, and you'll probably get there eventually, and that is where we left off. That was a big, long recap. I'm sorry. That was basically for my sake, too, because I forgot what happened for the most part.
Me every Sunday or me every fucking Saturday when I'm writing the recap.
And I don't even write recap. This is all just off the cuff, baby.
Off the dome.
We're getting the edge. Now it's time to goon.
True.
Fuck, that's a really good lead-in. Into the episode. So, yeah, exactly said. You've gotten the edge. Now it's time to goon. So, we're back to combat. And we'll just go from the top. I think we did end it at the end of like a turn order, so Dingle, It is your turn.
All right, I'm trying to remember. I think I'm at like the other foot?
Yes, you're at one of the foots. Gucky is close to the foot, but there's a bunch of Wukongs where Gucky is trying to fix the other foot.
I think Gucky's
And
at
you're
the
at the
foot
other
I already.
foot.
I think Gucky's at the foot I already destroyed, and I'm
Yeah.
like starting on the other one now.
Yeah, and the Wukongs over here next to Gucky are trying to fix the foot. So
I know he just spawned a bunch to
yeah,
get to that foot that you're at.
and there is a there's a Wukong sort of fighting Sam, like sort of on the arm of where, like the arm that holds up the torch of the Statue of Liberty. That's where you guys are in terms of placements.
All right. Oh wait, I just remembered. I think my hammer got knocked out of my hands.
It did. That was where we left off. Yeah. It's not. It's not like off.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
not like too far away, but it was definitely knocked out of your hands. So you'll have to use your non-combat action to maybe get it. Unless you think you just want to go in fist to blazing. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna head towards the hammer to try and pick it up. But
Okay.
on the way, I also want to use my combat action to just sort of like knock these two together.
Yeah. Give me a prawn. Are you knocking them or punching them together? What
I
are you
think
like
he's,
physically grabbing
their
them?
heads and, like,
Yeah, you're physically
Yeah.
grabbing their heads together. I'll give you that's a brawn athletics, I would say, because that's more of a grapple.
Brawn athletics.
Should still be relatively
That's
high. I
6
think.
normally, so down to 3.
And yeah, but you've gotten your drive and your points back, so
I'll pre-goon that.
Okay. he's driving.
1 drive? 2 drive? I'll just take the 2 successes.
You know what? I don't really remember what's happened. I think you knocked them all, like they were ganging up on you, and you knocked them all back, right? Isn't that what happened?
Potentially.
I need to fucking
Something
remember what
like that.
happens. You know what?
That's why I write the recaps.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, yeah, I think you did knock them back a bit. So these two are out of the game, but you still got 3 Wukongs on you. As you knock their heads together, they just turn into a cloud of, like, smoke, as they have been. No bloody messes, because God, that would be horrifying.
What was our ruling on sweet release? Can it overcap?
I don't know if I made a rule on that, but if we want the floor to make a decision.
I feel like it's rare enough that you should allow it.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I feel like it does not come up as often as you would think it does.
I don't even really remember what that ultimate does, but I feel like we allow overcaps in general.
It's like
Yeah.
restoring 2 dodge when you kill an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hammer, you sort of quickness that, you know, people, you are pretty quick in general, which is really funny because people don't expect it because you're kind of a lumbering 7-foot whatever. But on your way to getting Oshira back, you just sort of like grab both of them by the sides of their heads and boom, and just in a big poofy cloud of smoke, they disappear on you. And as the other 3 are kind of like just sort of like, oh shit, that just happened, you're just sort of able to run off to the side and you grab Oshira again.
Oh shit, that just happened.
No, we don't do Marvel quips here.
Clones not touch Oshra.
No one
Hammer
wants
ti-
that ain't. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hammer tired of clones. Stop summoning them.
You know, that just makes you want to do it more. And by the way, no one wants that ancient piece of junk you call a weapon anyway.
Ancient junk.
Some of them start laughing to each other, at each other.
Hammer.
Clearly, they're doing their job of riling you up, as anyone themed after Sun Wukong would. Go ahead.
Hammer will crush you, staff man. Just you wait.
Been saying that for the last, like, what, 10 minutes?
Hammer will keep saying it until Staffman is crushed.
Alrighty. And if that's everything for your turn, we're off to Sam. You're currently on the arm of the Statue of Liberty. You're just dealing with one of them, but he's on the hoverboard. So he has a bit of an agility.
Right. He got it back.
Yeah. He has a bit of an agility boost because of it.
Well, first things first, I think I want to try to, like, regrow whatever internal damage I've got.
Okay, give me a intelligence biology.
I hadn't even thought about that you could use your powers like that, but that makes total sense.
That's really good to be sort of self-sufficient, especially when there's not many healers on the group. Well, Gucky's been kind of a healer.
Actually, I'm just going to drive this anyway, and I will use a good point. Okay.
He's back.
Yeah, you are back to full health.
Back.
Do we don't allow health over cap, do we?
I think it's very rare.
It is very rare.
Yeah, there could be some other way that he's rewarded for that, I guess, but...
You know what? I'm going to say to reward you, you get 2 extra cards on your combat roll, because you're feeling really invigorated.
He's rejuvenated.
That was your non-combat, I believe, because that was healing, so...
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like... All your bones have just sort of moved back into place. Whatever organs were bruised have been discarded and replaced with, like, new ones. We don't see this because that would be horrifying, but you feel it.
I want to see if I can fucking... Oh, actually, first, I gotta refresh. I think... Wait, is this once per combat? No, this is the same combat. Dang. Okay. Well, I will still see if I can't try and, like, punch this hoverboard out of commission.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to punch the hoverboard?
Yeah, or either out of commission or at least to get him off of it.
Okay,
or actually, you know what? I want to like try to commandeer it instead, I think.
Okay, for commandeering, I'm going to ask for a wit athletics.
Why should I break it when I can take it? And I'm healthy again. There we go.
And you're also intending to do damage as you take it from him?
Yeah, well, like shove him off and like.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
take it for myself. If that counts.
Let me see.
It's so antiable, but it's early.
Okay. I hate to do this to you, Zell, but I gotta put my foot down. He rolled really good.
All fair. Yeah.
You're gonna deal a bit of damage to him. It was more like you try to push him up, but you end up just punching him square in the face instead. But he ends up keeping his balance, and unfortunately, you don't really get a sort of... He almost sort of walks off the side. You think you have your chance, but because he has, like, a cybernetic tail, he's able to keep his balance, like, really good. So, no, he's just sort of back on the board. He just sort of catches himself, like, just before falling off and goes, "Oh, jeez, watch the face, pal." And he's trying to just kind of like holding his jaw.
It's not a pretty sight to see.
You're not much of a looker either. That power of yours is disgusting. But yeah, you did. I'm gonna pull back the curtain just a little bit and say you at least did some damage, but he rolled like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say he rolled like 3 successes. Like,
on a defending version with a Joker, that's completely fair.
But a little bit of damage, I think, is fine. You guys are getting there. Gucky, it is your turn. You are currently You were a puddle, I believe, or have you resurfaced or have you sort of? Did you end the turn as a puddle, or did you like reform yourself?
I guess I'll say I'm a puddle.
Okay, you can use your non-combat action to reform yourself, or if you want to do something as a puddle, that is also an option.
I mean, is Ultra still separated from Hammer?
No, Hammer's got it.
Okay, he's got it back.
Yeah.
And it was also like all the way next to where Hammer was. I don't know.
So I've got like 5 dudes around me, and I'm puddle mode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make a gucky wave.
People holding up the foot though. They're not like.
I mean, they're still Wukong clones. They can still fight. They're just dressed. They're comically dressed in construction outfits.
They're not actively a threat. They're just holding up the thing right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rise up my puddle form and become like a giant gucky tidal wave.
Ooh, I like that.
The clones.
Hell yeah.
Give me an agility biology for that.
I don't know why, but when you said like he's like in puddle mode and he's gonna attack them, I literally pictured Gucky doing the fucking Jeff ult.
Oh shit!
just a big Gucky circle appears under them
around the entire team, bro.
That's the Gucky ult.
I'll keep that in mind for the future. Also, this flips reminded me that I want to swap around my intimidation mastery in biology, because I feel like that's just my character just didn't play out in the intimidation path, but I end up using biology all the time. You can
change that as soon as now.
Oh shit.
I will let you do that. Just remember for the future.
It's my 2 balls. I'm gonna put some drive on this as well.
He's driving?
A little more. A little more. Okay, dude.
What the hell?
Dude, it seems like Wukong fucking shuffled your decks for you, dude.
I'm goon pointing.
He's gooning?
Okay, one more.
I'm gonna say you knock away 2 guys off the side of the Statue of Liberty's like the pedestal, that like the sort of like ground level. You knock them off completely, and they're not gonna come back.
Nice.
Now the structural integrity of the foot is a little weaker, and they are trying extra hard to not let it fall, as they also are trying to possibly fix it or do something with it. But you managed to knock them. You managed to you made progress on the fight.
Has Zella Dingle used a hero point yet? I think.
Yeah, I have.
I'm at 2 then.
And that is.
I used one as well.
Oh, alright.
Okay. So, Wukong, specifically the one that's on the board, I'm just going to arbitrarily say he's the main one at the moment. He's just getting, like, really riled up. You know, you've started taking out his guys more effectively, and he's been so focused on so many things that he hasn't had time to make clones yet. He's like, alright, that's enough. I've had enough of all of you. And what he's going to do...
Get out of here already, and we'll leave you alone.
Sorry, not in the job description. And what he's going to do is he's going to jump up in the air, and you're sort of going to lose him if you're like Sam. I'm going to say you're going to be looking at him, and you kind of follow him with your eyes, but he sort of like disappears into the sun, sort of like not literally into the sun, but you know, like that sort of camera trick where a character jumps really high and they sort of just disappear because of the light. And then just a few seconds later, you see like something pierce through the clouds. Sam, I want you to give me an athletics agility. Because you're gonna see the end of his staff just come shooting like a bat out of hell out of the clouds. Okay, you're gonna take 1 damage, dodgeable, but you're not gonna fall off the arm. You were going to if you had rolled any worse than that. You catch yourself, but it definitely hurts, and it flies past you. And Hammer, I want you to make a brawn athletics check for me.
Okay. It's 3.
Because the pole actually shoots past Sam as it hits him, and it's sort of like angled, sort of like gonna hit you. And again, you still can't see him. All you see is the staff. And you're going to try and deflect it. And
I'll just
Okay.
I'll just take the 1.
that's 1 damage dodgeable. So you do deflect it with Oshra. You sort of catch it just in time. You're holding her handle up to your face to avoid getting hit by it. And then it's going to literally slide across, and then as soon as it hits, doesn't like sort of deflect it, it sort of lands next to you. And then it starts sliding at crazy speeds. And Gucky, I want you to make an agility biology check to see if you can move your puddle parts out of the way so you don't get hit by it. Because I don't think, are you still in puddle mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see how let's.
So he basically has done a sort of big group sweeping attack.
I think it was agility bio for you.
Yeah, agility bio.
Oh, sweet.
Because I just think it makes sense. You're splitting yourself
That's a
up
much better flip.
temporarily. Okay. And you're going to take 1 damage dodgeable.
Cool. I've only
You
just
all rolled
noticed
pretty
this
well.
session that I have punching back, so getting
Nice,
some
nice.
drive
Oh,
back.
True.
Oh shit!
I've been neglecting that the entire campaign.
And then as soon as it sort of hits you a little bit, but you still manage to get most of yourself out of the way. And as it sort of retracts back into the sky, he lands back on the hoverboard. And he's sort of disappointed it wasn't more effective. He goes, "Damn it. Well, at least I know I'm not alone." And these 3 are going to sort of, what are they going to do? I'm gonna say Gucky. I'm gonna say notice that they're not getting much leeway with Hammer. So what's gonna happen is they're going to sort of jump away from you, Hammer. And 6 of these guys, they're all going to start with their own sticks, just poking at the puddle, like just gonna start slashing and hitting it against the floor. And they're gonna try and get you, Gucky. Let's see how much damage they do. You're gonna take 3 damage as sort of like you're just in your puddle form are just being like slammed against the ground and slammed against these staffs repeatedly. He's just had it with all of you. He's sort of like enough with the theatrics. He just wants all of you gone. And now, Hammer, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm going back to the foot, and I want to like take sort of like a golf swing at it and try and like knock a chunk of it off into Wukong.
Which ones? The one on the ground or the ones in the sky?
The one in the hover, the one on the hoverboard, the
Oh,
Wukong
nice.
Prime.
Are
That's
you
2
using
birds
your
with 1
diamonds?
stone.
Yeah,
You get 2 more charges on that.
yeah. Give me a brawn
Oh.
melee for that.
Oh yeah, I can use the diamond for this one.
Oh right, yeah. What was the bonus again?
I forget, but I know it's got 2 charges.
I think it was like a +2 on anything that wasn't a person. Like if you're swinging against anything that's not a person.
Okay. So brawn melee halved. That's 4 and then +2. And I'm gonna bear stance this for 3 more.
Ooh.
Am I the answer?
Base stance?
Someone's yeah. I think
I
so.
believe you are.
Presumably.
Okay.
Kinda
Okay.
want anti that. I'm anti-ing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this works out. I know how to work on this. So, Hammer, you go over to the foot. The other Wukongs are distracted. The one in the air is kind of like pissed off and he's sort of shouting. He's barking orders at the other ones. and they just totally left the foot alone. Like, he's become narrow-sighted, much like the real character. He's become sort of, much like the character that he is basing himself off of. He's sort of become narrow-sighted when it comes to, like, sort of petty vendettas rather than the large goal, than the bigger picture. So you're just all alone. You go over, you sort of, like, put Oshra down for just a moment, sort of rub your hands, warm them up, you crack your knuckles, and you grab her again, and then with a mighty golf swing, you knock her big toe. And I'm going to say both the big toe and the toe next to it. And it goes flying, and it is just going to... I don't know if graze is the right word, but it hits Wukong off the hoverboard, down onto the ground, but the force... Okay, I'm gonna do this. You hit the hoverboard, he tries to dodge it, but he ends up hitting... The hoverboard ends up colliding with the toes, and it just sort of starts spiraling like crazy out of control, like just with the sheer force. And he doesn't have time to catch himself. He falls. Takes a decent amount of damage. And just out of sheer luck, his pair of sunglasses that you've seen him wear, that all of them wear, but he used it to get information about the past. Sort of like just a supercomputer. It's a pair of smart glasses, basically. It's like a 25th century pair of smart glasses.
All right.
They sort of bounce off the ground right next to you, and as he's sort of reeling from the pain, he sort of holds his face and he realizes his glasses are gone. He goes, oh god, shit, and he looks over and the glasses are right next to your feet, Hammer. He goes, wait, hold on, don't do anything to those.
I'm smashing the glasses. I'm smashing the glasses immediately.
Okay, this is the kind of fun thing that I wrote ever since I made this character for the campaign. I didn't make him for the campaign, but when I was inserting into the campaign, I had this awesome idea. Yeah. You don't even hear him do a superhero thing. He's not like, you don't give him a chance. You're just like, fuck this shit, man. You smash the glasses, and then all of a sudden, all the clones immediately disappear in a puff of smoke. And Wukong Prime is like, God damn it! You know how expensive those things are? They don't only tell me everything I need to know, but they're also... And then, Dingle, have you seen the first, Spider-Verse movie? The Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse movie?
Yes, I've seen the first one.
Yeah. You know how when characters are not in their right timeline, they start glitching out?
Oh, shit!
That starts happening to Wukong Prime now that he's all alone. He's like... And, his sort of form sort of stretches and sort of looks like a glitchy video gamey mess for a second. They were my anchor to the 21st century! Once I get back and get a new pair of glasses, I'll be back for you guys! And then he just sort of glitches into nothingness. And there is nothing left. The hoverboard also disappeared midair. Anything that was related to Wukong has now been sent back to the 25th century.
No, I couldn't steal the hoverboard.
Damn.
And this was also written...
That'd be our way out of here.
And this was also written so that he wouldn't die, because once again, I'm not really into the bloody stuff.
Is the weird monkey man gone?
Seems like it.
Staffman ran away before Hammer could crush him.
How did you crush the sunglasses, Hammer? I'm just curious. Was it like with your foot? With Oshra?
I definitely smashed them with the hand. I definitely smashed them with Oshra.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say they were retrievable. I was just curious. But I'm just going to say some pieces fall off your hammer as you're complaining that you didn't have a chance to smash them.
They are not. There's no way they're retrievable.
No.
Hammer doesn't do retrievable.
Well, good thing there is something still here we can smash.
And as you say that, you hear a lot of sirens, and you see a bunch of helicopters coming in from the mainland. And you see a bunch of boats, because you guys are kind of on an elevated area. You guys basically have... You got... What?
Oh. Can I I want to smash the remaining foot in a way where it falls onto the helicopters that are approaching.
Okay, give me another Ron melee for that. I'm gonna say you guys basically have like 5-star wanted levels, so you guys are just if I'm not gonna say you can't stand your ground and fight, but if you stay for too long, you're gonna just have an army of cops on you.
He's gonna golf swing with the hammer.
Say you knock out 2 helicopters, but then you're like, oh yes, I got it. And the statue is definitely gonna start falling over soon. But you knock out 2 helicopters
Oh, wait,
and
I
like
feel like the statue isn't falling. I think I described what I was doing wrong. My
sorry.
goal was to knock over. I wanted the statue to like fall down onto the helicopter.
Oh, I thought you were just taking another piece, like another golf swing.
No. Well, I wanted to I wanted to finish the statue off in the hopes it would fall onto the helicopters.
I'm gonna say
I know I only got 2 successes. I did technically. That was a 4 success hit against Wukong and the statue technically on my last action.
Like I don't want to be too mean about it. I'm gonna say it starts to fall over, but it more just kind of becomes like the leaning Statue of Liberty than actually falling over.
Can I help out with what I was trying earlier and like wrap some arms around it to like try and pull it down, I guess.
You want to still? I'm gonna say this is gonna be the last action before you guys have to possibly run away or stand your ground here.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me a brawn biology. I'm going to say that you're going to be taking your arms. You're going to make a bunch of them because you're on the arm. And then you're going to jump down and try and use like the weight of jumping down to like pull it over. I'm going to say you get it to lean a bit more, but it's unfortunately not enough. But if you're looking at the job description, you guys are doing exactly what the employer wanted, which because all of fucking New York's like police department is now like, you know, they're currently heading towards your location at rapid speed.
Just a touch more, and we got it.
It stops budging after a bit.
Ah, come on.
It is leaned though. It is damaged, but you're literally like a guy. You're not going to be the one to take down this giant statue.
I mean, yeah, it's missing a foot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of leaning. It is made of like steel, isn't it?
Can I say I was helping
copper,
out with that?
At least some.
Okay, this is okay, Gucky. You can do something, but then this is the last action. If you can't get it down, then you just have to accept that you haven't knocked it over.
I guess I'm gonna like jump down onto the ground behind it and then like try and rebound up, use some elastic energy, and try and just do the final push.
Give me a brawn biology for that.
Oh,
yes!
Here we go.
Hey, you know what? Gucky, that was exactly what you needed. You're seeing your friends try your hardest, and you feel like you didn't do much against the monkey man, so you're like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. You gather up like all your literal liquid courage inside of you, and just like you just fucking turn into like sort of a rubbery bouncy ball, and with enough brute force, you have enough to knock over Statue of Liberty completely, taking out a couple of helicopters and one of the police boats in the process. But,
yippee! We
as you
did it,
celebrate,
guys!
You realize there is still a fuck ton of cops on your location, so...
Feels good after an annoying fight to crush something, right, guys?
And as Hammer's saying that... Oh, sorry, Sam.
That's so true.
And you guys are talking, but like it's really hard to hear each other because there's just sirens all over the place. And how do you guys want to get out of here? Because if you don't, you'll be fighting roughly 250 cops as NPCs.
That sounds like 250 sweet release triggers to me. Go ahead.
I don't want
Where's that car again? It's out of
it's in
commission.
the Freedom Tower.
It's back at home because we teleported it back.
Oh, that's
Right.
right.
Yeah. Right.
Because we weren't getting to the Freedom Tower to escape. Like,
Yeah.
Hey Sammy, has that guy messaged you yet? The guy who wanted this done in the first place?
I guess I'll check my phone.
You check your phone, and you're getting a bevy of messages from Wallflower, who he says oh wait, I just had an idea. He says yeah, the buyer's satisfied with what you did, but try to avoid getting caught by the fuzz. Again, if anything leaks back to me, then I'll kill you myself. And as you're kind of wondering how the fuck you're gonna get out of here, your teleporter, your butler, Butlin Demore, teleports in a sort of hellfiery aura next to all of you, surprising you.
I was actually just gonna ask if we had any way of contacting this guy.
And he says, Masters, I have finally put around posters around the city, and I must say, from looking at the news reports that are going off both on television and online, you have done a smashing job. But I think it's time we say goodbye to the Statue of Liberty for now. And he sort of gets all of you to sort of just hold on to his shoulders, both his shoulders. You just gotta put a hand on him, and he just
grow a new hand to put on him.
Yeah, and he snaps his fingers, and you are back at your base instantaneously without a trace in sight. And Eobard had already returned early on, is just sleeping in his bed.
Yeah, once he lost that hoverboard and didn't have his fetch toy.
Butlin sort of brushes himself off because it seems like every time he teleports, he leaves a bit of brimstone. He goes, I must say, I was able to help you this time, sirs, but I won't be able to get you out of every single jam. My teleportation can be a bit limited. It was just, thankfully I was still in the city when I saw that you needed out of there.
Oh, don't do that again. Don't do that again. We were gonna smash those police guys up.
Demon Man removed Hammer from smashing.
Don't worry, Hammer. We'll, with the money from this gig, we'll buy you some police cars to smash up here.
Hammer will accept that.
If you'll excuse me, I've got some other things to attend to. And he sort of disappears again. But you are safe and sound, back at your home base. And Sam, your phone is going to start ringing.
It will answer.
It is from Wallflower. Hey, good job on getting out of there. They caught the whole thing on camera. There was some news helicopter. That guy you hired jumped in and jumped you out of there. Cops are just sort of chasing their own tails now. The buyer is satisfied. Again, can't tell you what it was for, but you caused enough of a stir that he was able to get what he wanted done in the city. And now he's long gone. Anyways, your payment should be coming through shortly. I might have another job for you relatively soon. You guys are all over the news, and people are starting to take notice. Both the good guys and the other bad guys. Alright. See ya. And it just sort of hangs up. And you get a notification that $20,000 has been deposited into your account.
Ooh.
And yeah. So the session's not going to end here because you guys were kind of at the tail end of the fight. But do we just want to time skip a bit? Do you guys just sort of lay low for a few days after everything that's gone down? You guys might have to realize that you can't just sort of walk around New York City anymore.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine
your
by me.
faces have been plastered all over the news.
I
You're
didn't
now
have any
gaining
ideas.
notoriety. Well, first off, you might want to get your car fixed, and you'll have to go back to
That's true.
the Villain's Bazaar to do that.
Yo, the bazaar? Hold on.
True.
We can tell. Or actually, no, we just got it. I guess technically, but I was gonna say we can teleport to the bazaar.
Yeah. Well, again, you guys, if you want to lay low for a few days, we can just time skip that.
That's true.
You guys just sort of hang out in your base, watching the news. Yeah, and you guys were part of the news cycle for a decent amount of time. But then some other supervillain had to do something kind of cooler than you, and
What?
took up your.
What the hell did he do that was cooler than destroying the Statue of Liberty?
He unleaned the Leaning Tower at Pisa.
Shit.
What the fuck? I hate this guy. He's the opposite of everything I stand for.
We gotta go to Italy
Yeah.
and smash that back into place.
But that would be doing a good thing. People would like you for that. No, you gotta lean it the other way now.
Well, no, we're just gonna smash it.
Okay.
No, we hit it on the top so hard that it smashes over to the other side of the world.
True. That's how it works. But I can say, if you guys want to use
the fucking upside down Tower of China.
if you guys want to, I'm not sure how to write this, but if you guys want to, if you guys want to take it to the villain sort of black market, I can say you can use the nitrous engine to get there, and then when you get it fixed, the nitrous engine will be recharged as sort of like a sort of severance thing. Not severance. You know what I mean? Just fucking. Are you going to the bazaar or not? I'm not trying to railroad you guys. But the mean machine is not in drivable condition, other than using the teleport. Other than using the hyperdrive.
I think getting that fixed is probably a good idea.
Okay.
We're going to the bazaar.
How bizarre.
About to do an aquatic build.
I was just about to say, let's do a quick couple runs of the bazaar. Let's do a quick couple dually runs.
But you get there, and the lady who you're aware of now, who I still forgot to give her a name before you returned.
The nameless woman.
It's honestly kind of hard. Anyways, you bring it to her. You teleport like right in her lot, and it sort of terrifies the shit out of her because you teleport like right next to her. She goes, "Oh, jeez."
Yeah, I need this bad boy fixed real quick.
Car woman fixes car.
Hey,
Yeah.
car lady.
You've had this for about a week, and it's already been.
What was your name again? Carmine, right?
That's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
Carmine is a great name for a woman who sells cars.
Whether or not Carmine is her name or not, you're not going to know as characters, so hush up.
Yeah.
Hey,
Totally
did you see
Carmine.
us on the news? We were so
Yes.
cool.
She's sort of, oh yes, I have. And you see like a bunch of car parts and toolboxes sort of float out from like sort of the garage section of her building. And she does like all of these are just going to work like in tandem. It's kind of amazing to see. She's like a one person like mechanic team. And she's not even like raising a finger or anything. She's like Magneto levels of
I'm
powerful.
gonna say, you fucking Magneto ass mechanic.
She is. She's had like metal control powers that was introduced.
Yeah.
She can take a whole car apart and put it back together without even looking like she's struggling. Makes you wonder why she's not like a frontline supervillain, but you know, this is her life. She likes
It
it.
only works on cars.
Anyways, as this is going on, and it's kind of an interesting sort of spectacle to see because she's literally the car comes apart into like a million pieces so that she can fix and adjust every single little piece of the car. But as she's doing this, she goes, Oh yes, it's been quite a buzz here, in the market. Yeah, you should be expecting a lot more jobs soon if that wallflower is reliable on getting the people that you need to know. But while I fix this, why don't you have a drink over at the bar for a bit? It won't take too long, but but you might need to work on your networking skills if you're going to get any further as a supervillain team. And she sort of motions over, and there is sort of like a bar, like sort of seedy, scummy. I mean, this whole place is seedy and scummy, but
Hammer not
you
know
want to go
about
there.
that, but Hammer would like drink.
Yes, again, this shouldn't be too long. By the time you finish your first drink, it should be done. Go and introduce yourselves. That is where all of the most dastardly miscreants gather after a hard job of causing villainy and whatnot. It's not been a life that I cared for, but at the same time, I don't care for the people that follow the law either. And she sort of turns back around and she's just sort of coldly looking at the car as, again, it's in the air, disassembled into like every single piece, and things are being shifted, changed, repaired, bent back into place. New pieces are being swapped out from the old ones.
Hell yeah.
Wait,
can
did
tell
our
that what she
goon level
does-
not go up, by the way?
We gotta be Goon level 4. We destroyed the Statue of
That's
Liberty.
gotta be worth at least
Hold
one goon
on.
level.
Hold on. I'm gonna say Wallflower hasn't contacted you yet about that, but you're hopefully expecting
okay.
something soon.
Wouldn't it update on the app?
He's the one that runs the app.
Yo, this admin fucking sucks.
Don't let him say that. Your phone might be bugged.
He does it for free.
Yeah.
If you think he's doing it for free and he doesn't take a cut of everything that people earn, then you are woefully
Wallflower's
naive.
Wallflower's a fucking Janny.
God damn it. Go to the fucking bar already.
Oh, we're going to the bar for sure.
I will say the whole thing about not leveling up has you a little concerned, but you decide not to give it too much thought. It'll update when it's ready.
I feel like that discussion, at least for me, was very out of character.
Yeah,
Hammer, I feel like in character, Hammer does not know that there is any such thing as a goon level.
Oh. Then I'll just say Sam has noticed it, but
Sam
maybe he hasn't said
definitely
anything.
did not relay this information to the others, knowing that they would not take it in.
Whether or not Gucky can count to 4 is still kind of up in the air, so you're not even sure. Anyways, you head to the bar, and it's basically like a non-Star Wars version of the canteen.
Oh hell yeah.
Where instead of sci-fi stuff, it's just sort of like there's this like rep and wax of like supervillain, super weapons from over the years. There's a bunch of like newspaper clippings of like supervillains that have done some crazy shit. Pictures with like the bar owner and like very famous supervillains, and even some photos go back to like the original like era of superheroes, which was like the 1910s, 1920s.
So we're basically in like a supervillain Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Goki's gonna shapeshift into like a tall, imposing figure, like the fucking with like a Dracula collar. Just something more intimidating than what he actually is.
Give me a Give me a presence biology for that. I want to see how intimidating you are.
Are we healed?
Yes, you are healed. You guys have been home for a few days.
Oh sweet.
Sorry about that. I should have said that.
No, it's kind
This
of
isn't like right after.
It's kind of what I figured. I just wanted to make sure because
This isn't right. This
I
isn't
needed
right
the
after.
healing.
Yeah. This isn't like right after you guys did the Statue of Liberty. I said you guys have been on the news cycle for like a couple of days.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
No problem.
I didn't want to just heal myself and then just be like, oh yeah, by the way, DM, I just gave myself 10 HP.
No. If you had done that, I would have sort of figured. I should have said something.
Alright, two successes. on making myself look cool.
You look like a character from the show What We Do in the Shadows. So not like a super intimidating vampire, but you don't look goofy.
But which character?
What's the
Because if he looks like fucking Colin Robinson, he is not intimidating at all.
No. Shit. What's the Romanian one's name? It's been a while since I've watched it. Like one of the main
Nandor.
characters.
Oh.
Nandor. He looks a bit like Nandor, but not as tall.
I've never seen this show, but I'll take it.
The show's okay. It's not as good as the movie. But
Hold on, I really like the show. I'm gonna be honest.
I like the show too. I don't know. The movie. I think the movie is just like.
I know. It's just the show has
the movie at the. I think the movie, especially at the time, was just very funny.
Yeah, but I will say I really like the show, and also Matt Berry is genuinely one of the funniest actors currently in the business.
Oh yeah, he's insane. He's so fucking good.
This is what you look like, Zedgen. You're not super intimidating, but you're not Count Dracula either. You look like you would be a vampire supervillain, but no one's gonna look at you and like shit their pants in terror.
That is definitely a 2 success vampire.
That is exactly why I thought of it. I was like, what vampires are not like super scary, but not like goofy like Dracula from Hotel Transylvania? Like, oh, What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. No, he's not Colin Robinson. That would be like if you got like 2 failures.
That would be like a Joker.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, let's head to the bar.
Yeah.
All right. I'm walk up to the bar and be like, "Drink man gives Hammer and Hammer's friends a drink."
One glass of blood, please.
The barman turns around and you can see that he sort of has like sort of spider eyes. Like he's got a bunch of eyes going across his head. He's got a normal face, but whenever he talks, whenever his mouth is open, you can see kind of small, sort of fanged teeth. And he's using different pairs of hands to clean multiple glasses at once. And he goes, "Oh, it's you. You've been all over the news. Didn't think you would show up here."
Why, yes, we have. We're on a busy schedule, but we decided to pay your establishment a visit. We've heard good things.
Who you are, pal. You weren't on the news. I wasn't talking to you.
He's the blue one.
No.
I take many forms.
That's weird.
I'm sure I'm not.
Anyway,
I'm sure I'm not the weirdest customer you've served.
You're close to it, and he's gonna stop pouring, I guess, just beer out of the tap for Hammer and Sam because you just said drink. And
Roll a couple arms to grab them.
And fellow multi-limb user, interesting.
It's very convenient.
I know. And did you seriously want a glass of blood?
Yes, please. Semi-congealed, if you would.
Whatever. And he just sort of out of his it's kind of interesting. You can probably tell that like actual like necrotic supervillains visit this place because he opens up a mini fridge behind the bar, and there are like blood bags, like sort of stacked on each other. And he just sort of pours one into a glass, and he goes, "Not the first thing I would expect a shapeshifter to drink, but whatever."
I thought he was gonna say he hands me the IV bag and I'm gonna drink it like a Capri Sun.
Fuck, that's a lot better. He does that. He pokes his straw in it, and it's like a curly, silly straw.
Oh, I love that.
Ah, refreshing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell his biology works, but
how does any of our biology work, really? You know, one day you're normal, the other day you fall into a vat of radioactive spiders, and
I do a biology check to explain how our biology works.
Yeah, give me an intelligence biology to see if you can play the biology professor here.
Oh, well, you see, I think dramatic failure. Or dramatic, yeah.
Yeah, it's a dramatic failure. So that's one for Zal. Hold on.
He rips his chest open in an attempt to find out how his biology works.
Yeah, no, put the shirt back on, pal.
Oh, okay.
It's not that kind of establishment. I know we're all sort of degenerates here, but we're not that kind of
Rhetorical question. Got it.
Anyways, interesting you guys found the time to be here. I thought you'd be on the run from the cops.
The running part was easy, actually.
Oh yes, that butler of yours. He came in the other day and he put up a poster. I've left it there, but I haven't seen anyone actually look at it.
Ah, that's great. I trust he wasn't slacking off and having a drink as well while he was at it, was he?
No, he was not.
Very good, very good.
And as he's sort of talking to you, you can see his other pairs of hands like prepare drinks for other like people like waiting near the counter. He just sort of slides them across the counter. He goes, "So, what's next for the big up and coming supervillain group? You know, your boss, Jailbird, never really visited here. Well, he once insulted my establishment, and he was sort of banned from here, but I do not hold that against you. As his former cronies, are you taking any sort of notes from his villainy, or are you trying to do your own thing?"
I apologize for his transgressions, but we are our own team with our own goals. And we're going to make it much further in this industry than our former boss did.
So far, you're doing a good job. Then you were about to say something. He sort of lurks over to Sam.
I was saying, yeah, we're just kind of playing it by ear.
That's sort of what villains do at our level. I've never found myself needing to rise up in the ladder.
It
Truth
seems
be
like you
told-
got quite the gig going for you. So
Truth be told, I don't find myself much of a villain or a hero. I'm a bit more neutral, but I'll at least provide a safe haven for dastardly villains who want to grab a drink after a hard day of terror and villainy. You know, you sort of get overshadowed when you're sort of bug-themed in this world. There's lots of bug-themed and arachnid-themed people, have you noticed?
Well, I think you have a magnificent set of eyes there.
Thank you.
Hammer had to crush bug-themed man once. It was very easy.
He starts laughing to himself. Oh, everyone's run into Sting at some point. You didn't really crush him, more that you embarrassed him on the news cycle, but you sort of crushed his spirits, I would say.
Hammer, pretty sure he crushed Bug.
He sort of eyes at Gucky and Sam because he's realizing that Hammer's not really much of a conversationalist. Yes, indeed. Now, I'm assuming you're working for that shut-in wallflower using his app.
Why, yes.
yeah, easiest way to get some work, that's for sure.
What do you know about him? He's quite a mysterious figure.
What do I know about him? Not many people do. He scrubbed basically all records of himself and his life off of any sort of database when he became a supervillain. He's not a bad person per se. He's the whole reason that we have a sort of working network of villainy that allows us to coordinate and do crimes more efficiently. But as a person, no, he's never stepped foot in here, and I assume he believes himself to be too important to. He doesn't really talk with a lot of people, and even the people that he knows with more, he'd rather be talking over the phone than face to face.
It is true that he provides a good service overall, but wouldn't you say he's collating quite a bit of power there, all by himself? He has access to all of the goon-related activities going on.
That is true, but here's the thing. You've never seen him in a fight. Have you considered how much, plant life exists in the world, even with urbanization? There are plants everywhere, even beneath concrete. I truly believe if Wallflower wanted to, he could turn all of New York into his own garden, but he chooses not to. If you have a problem, you take it up with him. I would rather stay out of it.
That's very true.
He doesn't bother me, and I don't bother him.
And flowers aren't that satisfying to smash. Let's stay on his good side, my
there are
cohorts.
also plants. There are also plants that grow in places like underwater. All of that. He controls a good portion of what Mother Earth has to offer. But he chooses to just sort of keep to himself. I don't know. He got into one fight, and we've never seen that superhero ever again. I assume he was turned into fertilizer.
Ant-Man is smart to not fight. Plants are easy to crush. You can simply step on them.
He side-eyes Hammer, realizing that he probably doesn't fully understand that he's not just talking about, like, flowers. Yes, but truth be told, I just had a good friend come in the other day, and she's looking for someone to work with. I said I'd keep my ear to the ground if any supervillains wanted to collaborate with her. If you want, I could bring you to her, and you would get a bigger cut than you would going through Wallflower.
Sounds good to me.
We'll accept a job as long as there are things to crush.
Oh, trust
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who's giving it.
My straightforward friend, where you're going, the more things you crush, the better.
Then Hammer suggests Drakeman takes us there now.
Hey, Mark, take over the front for me for a while. He sort of says to another person who looks a bit more average. Yeah, he's just like an average dude. He might just be here for the money. I don't think he's actually a supervillain or has any superpowers.
Hell yeah, I love Mark.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he sort of the spider guy sort of walks around the bar and says, "She's in one of the private rooms. Follow me." And he walks with a very like dignified poise, even with all of his spider limbs. Well, they're not spider limbs; they're human limbs, but he's got 3 pairs of arms and stuff. Do you follow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't have this character drawn and ready yet, but I will describe her at the very least. So you walk in, he opens the door and says, "Oh, Saturn, I have visitors for you. These people will do just nicely for the job you're asking about. Gentlemen, I leave you to my good friend, Sister Saturn." And he sort of leaves, closes the door behind you. And this is just a nice... It's not like a sleazy, like, lap dance or weird room. It's kind of just like a room for, like, people to just sit in quiet, away from, like, all the hustle and bustle of all the villains outside. Just a couple of couches and, like, a TV. And, like, a coffee table. And you see
nothing. I was gonna ask for a description, but I think you were ahead of me.
Yes, and so a person is sitting there. She has, like, a sort of drink. It's this sort of young-looking African-American woman in sort of spacey, sort of like 1950s looking kind of like sci-fi gear. And around like her wrists and around her neck and even around her waist are like gravity-defying sort of like rings floating around, like, a bunch of her appendages and joints. She's got, like, a big pair of, like, very big, like, goggles. Her hair is kind of, like, frizzed out a little bit, but not in, like, a crazy way. She goes, you guys wasn't expecting to see the New York Terror show up.
That's what they're calling us.
No, but I had to call you something. They don't know your names on the news, and I haven't learned them yet. Sister Saturn. And
Sin, no need to do the art. I'm way ahead of you.
No,
I-
she doesn't. She doesn't look like that.
I extend a fresh arm to shake.
Interesting.
Sam.
I extend out my arm next to his. Good evening, madam. My name is Cookie.
Cookie.
Hammer doesn't extend an arm. He just says,
Hands
"Drink
are
man,
full.
Drink man said that Space Woman had things to crush."
Oh my, oh dear. Yes, yes, yes. There will be things to crush. Please. Please. There's an
This is
order
Hammer.
to this. I figured. There's an order to this.
Hammer is hammer, yes.
She snaps her fingers and like a small little like planetary ring starts circling around like the drink that was on the coffee table and it floats into her hand and she grabs it and she goes, "Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I was a former scientist working as a researcher at the Massachusetts Institution of Technology. And after my little accident that gave me these powers," and you can sort of like feel like the gravity getting slightly heavier in the room, like just a little bit, but it's enough to kind of be like, "Oh, okay." They fired me, let me go, didn't even give me a severance package, and they kept all of my research. I want my research back. I'm going to head back to that place and get all my data. And you're going to be my muscle. You're going to distract most of the people, most of the cops that are going to show up, or whoever may show up. But I need my work back. I have worked my whole life on sort of astronomical science technology, and I will not. And she sort of slams on the wall, and she actually leaves like a big dent in the wall. You can maybe guess that maybe in a split moment she sort of increased like the gravitational density of her fist, and she left a mark, and she left like a big kind of impact. And I will not have that taken away from me. I could do so much more now that I've been gifted with these powers. I could reach the stars. I could plunge humanity into a new space age much faster than any Silicon Valley nerd possibly wish they think they could. So, what do you say?
What
We
was
head
the
to the
subject of your
Massachusetts-
research?
Okay. Out of character, I'm not a science person. So,
Just make some shit
just
up.
let me just. I was researching the effects of how to manipulate gravity, how to make it lighter, more denser.
Oh shit,
With
she
that.
was fucking she's gonna be the person who discovered the fucking like gravity ore from space.
Hell yeah.
Holy
She's
shit.
trying to make a portal to hell.
Listen, again, I won't bother you with the details, gentlemen, for your own sake, but ever since I was let go, I haven't been able to think about anything other than getting my research back.
Well,
And do you know what kind of world we're living in? Every day, new supervillains and superheroes are popping up, but none of that's gonna matter anytime. That's not gonna matter once I'm in charge. We're gonna reach the furthest ends of the universe. And I will be the queen of everything in the universe.
that does seem respectfully villainous. And we get to smash things in the process?
Yes. Not the server rooms. At least not until I've gathered all my data from the servers, but once we have everything we need, feel free to destroy anything you want in that building. They deserve it. But I have
Now-
one
Space
condition.
Lady should have led with that. Hammer
Yes.
can do that very well.
I have one condition. Do not kill anyone.
Why not?
Why not? And she sort of grabs you by the collar. Why not? And she's sort of like up in your face.
I mean, it's worked out pretty well for us in our previous missions.
I don't care about your previous missions. This is a vendetta against the company. Listen, I was once a student working there. I don't want to risk taking away the lives of future geniuses, especially since they'll be working under me soon.
Yeah, speaking of the whole under you thing, I was just wondering where this job would place us on that hierarchy.
Ugh. Sort of rubs her temple. I haven't worked out all of the details yet.
We'll circle back on that. That's
But let it be known that supervillains will have more leniency. Especially supervillains who remain on my good side.
got it. Get the data, smash the stuff, get out.
Don't kill anyone.
Don't kill it.
Well, as long as you let me keep my bouncer castle in your new age universal empire, that's fine by me.
Trust me, I will lead humanity to a glorious universal utopia. You're wondering if any sort of science has I'm not gonna say fried her brain because she's clearly smart, but I don't know. You're maybe wondering if the side effects of literally being afflicted with gravity has literally made her like space crazy. Anyways, when's the soonest we can leave?
Hammer is ready.
I suppose once our car's fixed, it'd be pretty easy to get there.
And it's been more than 5 minutes, so you assume the car is fixed.
Hammer is ready to crush science things right now.
Good. And again, if you remain on my good side, you will have a nice, comfy place in my new order. Because the hierarchy of the universe is about to change. But, for an immediate reward, yes, I promise you monetary gain of a not so negligible sort of level.
Your terms are acceptable.
I may also provide you with one of my prototype devices. But that is all for the future. We focus now on the mission at hand. And she sort of walks out. She's not waiting to see if you're going to follow her. She's just expect you're going to follow her.
All right.
She walks over to the car lot. She doesn't know which car is yours, but you said you were getting the car fixed, so she just sort of waits. Now, which one of these lovely sort of automobiles is yours? And you can see yours as being just being put back together, final touches by the car lady. But you have to point it out to Sister Saturn.
Yeah, I guess we'll also be approaching to get that in order as well.
Are you like, do you point out which car is yours, or do you just walk up to the lady? Yeah.
Gookie, back in his original form, goes, "Oh, it's over there! It's over there!"
As Sam goes to talk with Carmine.
That's quite the hideous vehicle.
Hey! Don't say that about our cool car!
Cars like these won't be needed in the new empire.
Well,
what's funny is she's like sounding crazy, but she can't be like any older than like 24 or something. This is an insane life to like have in your prime.
So what are we gonna drive then? In the new universe?
No. When I'm in charge, there won't be need for any vehicles whatsoever. Because we'll have mastered all forms of movement like teleportation and hovercrafts.
Well, our car can already teleport and hover.
Travel. What was that?
Our car can already teleport and hover.
Well, it will be at a more mass scale. I'm already trying to deduce a sort of mineral that has been found in the far reaches of space. But unfortunately, I have had no luck finding a sample. She sort of like grimaces. And yes, that is the same mineral that you were talking about earlier.
Hell yeah. Love me some gravitanium lore.
Gravitanium, that's what it was called.
In fact, that mineral, there's a small sample of it back at MIT. That is the reason I have these powers. But it was stolen by another supervillain. If only I still had this sample. Anyway, Sam, you walk over to Carmine, and she's just sort of like looking over like her tablet, going through like a digital checklist. She goes, "Oh, you're back. Yep, should be all good to go. I have fixed everything. I have recharged the nitrous engine. I have filled it up with gas. I have fixed the helicopter apparatus. And I have
Sweet.
made sure the tire pressures are in optimal shape."
Well, sounds good to me.
That'll be 6,000, please.
All right.
I'm sorry that I seem to make everyone do math when I give them stuff.
It's all good.
As long as it's not me doing it, I don't care.
Goki's gonna pull like a dollar bill out of his stomach. Here's a tip for you, lady. You did a great job.
And she just sort of like grabs it, stuffs it in her pocket without even looking. Well, it's nice to know someone appreciates me. It's in tip-top shape. Oh, you're dealing with Sister Saturn. That's quite an interesting choice. She sort of says under her breath next to Sam, sort of off to the side.
Well, job's a job.
Suppose so, but watch out. She's a little. I mean, we're all a little, you know. But she's like a little more, you know.
She's gonna be queen of the
Rich,
universe.
I kind of got that impression.
Yes, Queen of the Universe. As long as I can still have business when this new empire arrives. And she sort of politely bows to the group. Doesn't really say anything to Sister Saturn, but she's just kind of. Well, if that's everything, I have business to attend to. Good day, gentlemen. Good day, Sister Saturn. Ah, you too, Carmine. Have a great day.
I give like a salute goodbye with a new arm I grew.
She doesn't even see it. She doesn't care. She's gone. Can't riz up Carmine, I'm sorry. Anyways, Sister Saturn immediately places herself in the driver's seat.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, we've been crashing this like crazy.
Uh-huh. So none of you know how to drive, like normally?
Yeah, you press the big nitro button, and it does the work for you.
Yeah, I think we'll save that one for our way back.
Oh,
I mean, after last time, yeah, you know what he said. You know what Butland said. Like, you can't bail us out next time.
Yeah.
Goki
Well-
sulks in the backseat.
Thankfully, it's only a 3-hour drive from New York to Massachusetts.
3 hours.
Get over it. I hired you to be my muscle, not to complain. Would you rather not have a spot in the new empire when the time arrives?
You can. I like kind of whisper to her. You can kind of just ignore those two.
Fine. Fine. And she sort of, if everyone's in the car, she starts it up and drives. And how well does she drive? She gets there 2 hours and 45 minutes instead of 3 hours and 33 minutes, which is what Google tells me.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, she just ignores you. and she parks about a block away from the MIT. She goes, "Okay, we're here now. Now listen, I didn't really think I would be lucky to get three croonies to work for me today. So, do you have any suggestions on how to get in there first? I mean, I could just rip the whole place apart, but I need to make sure that my data is intact when I get there."
Well,
Hammer likes that idea.
I think most of us could probably pass ourselves off as scientists and get in pretty easily.
True. Hammer could look like Science Man very easy.
Sister Saturn presses like a button on her belt, and her suit and her sort of spacey supervillainous costume turns into a very like stereotypical like sort of like lab scientist like attire, with her like sort of outlandish goggles turning into safety goggles.
I'm gonna transform into an extremely nerdy looking guy.
Give me an intelligence biology to see how nerdy.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay. You are like a very nerdy. You look like what's his face from Jurassic Park? The guy played by Newman from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You look like him.
The super nerd.
True.
Oh wow, I've always wanted to visit here.
It's not what he sounds like, but sure, you can sound like that if you want.
That's what Gucky sounds like.
That's what Gucky thinks he sounds like. He's never actually seen Jurassic Park. I assume not.
He is not.
It's a bit too scary for him.
And it's an R-rated movie. He's not allowed to watch those yet.
And she sort of out of her pouch takes a couple of name tags, sort of lightly tosses them to Sam and Hammer. Sam, you look pretty plain enough that you could just be sort of a plainclothes scientist.
I'll throw myself some like buck teeth to.
But she turns like, "Excuse me, my towering collaborator. And what will you do to blend in?"
Hammer will blend in easily.
He can be our test subject.
Fine, works for me. Let's get in there. I've waited long enough.
Let's freaking go!
Oh,
Please stop talking. Thankfully, on my way out last time, I snatched a different ID card, so as long as this person hasn't been fired in the 3 months I've been gone, and she sort of holds it up to the door, scans it, green light, we're in.
Space Lady forgot to get name tag for Oshra.
It's not needed, she's science equipment.
Space Lady takes that back.
We don't have time for this. She grits her teeth. She says, "Fine." And she sort of flicks her fingers a bit, and there's like a name tag on like a nearby counter because you guys are now in the lobby. It floats its way to Oshra and just sort of sticks on her handle. Will that shut you up?
Name tag does not have right name. Oshra's name is Oshra.
She turns to Sam.
It's like Sharon or something.
She turns to Sam and goes, "Are we really going to have to do this?"
Hey, look, Hammer. Oshra's playing pretend right now.
Hammer, by my estimations, we only have 4 minutes and 59 seconds. And the quicker we do this, the quicker we can get to smashing.
Yeah, it's a small part of the plan. Don't worry about it.
Oshra does not like this name tag, but she says she understands.
Good, finally, she understands. I'm glad we're all on the same page! And then Sister Saturn sort of turns around and starts walking towards the elevator. I assume you guys are following her.
Yeah.
Seems to know where she's going.
She's sort of ignoring all the other people in the lab. They haven't really noticed. These people might not have been like in her like section, so they might not notice that she's like a former employee. But
Yeah.
you're also surrounded by a bunch of other people, and you've all got name tags on, so they don't care.
Hmm.
You see, the one thing is every Thursday, and she's sort of typing in like the passcode to the elevator. She's sort of every Thursday. There's a lot of like. There's a lot of people that just don't show up on Thursdays here. I don't know why, but it's the perfect day to sneak in. If this was any other day, we'd probably have more security on our asses. And y'all get in the elevator, and you guys are gonna start moving down, and there's just like peaceful. Hold on, I can do this. Elevator music. There we go. So, not that it's going to matter once I'm Queen of the Universe, but what aspirations do you guys have? What is your bigger picture compared to every other supervillain I've met?
I guess the universe is out if you've got that one. I don't know, just king of the villains, I guess. It's probably
King
good
of the
enough.
Villains. That's a high bar to reach. I mean, it's good to have goals.
I want to be the biggest slime in the universe. I want to be my own planet eventually.
Interesting. Not sure if sentient slime planets have been discovered yet, so, there's maybe a chance. But the universe is so vast that you might have some competition eventually.
Hammer just wishes to crush more things.
Oh, so straightforward and simple. What a life you must live.
Space Lady did not ask Oshra's ambitions.
Oshira, what are your ambitions? She rolls her eyes.
Oshra says she does not know. But still rude of Space Lady not to ask.
She starts like massaging like the side of her temples. I apologize, I was never much of a people person, even when I wasn't a supervillain. Science is the only place I felt like myself. I could just do calculations, run simulations, sketch schematics. It was a quiet life. It was nice. But once I had that accident with the gravitanium sample, my eyes were opened. I could see into the infinite reaches of space, calling out for me. And I'll be damned if anyone takes that away from me. I will no longer be a pushover.
Hammer understands. Hammer feels same way about crushing.
Indeed. She looks at her smartwatch and goes, we're a bit ahead of schedule. I don't think any superhero is going to show up. Not unless any worked here, of course, but that would be crazy. I don't think that'll happen.
Who's
I don't
that?
think we're here. What? No,
Did-
she was saying not that she doesn't think anyone works at MIT. She said the plan would only go awry like, oh, we're ahead of schedule.
I thought
Things
you
would
said
only go
someone
awry if
called
there was-
Eddie, but I realized you're saying anyone. My bad.
No,
Yeah.
of course, if MIT. Yeah. What kind of superhero would be going to MIT? Imagine having to sort of juggle schoolwork and superhero work. That would be awful. Also, being a supervillain has much nicer benefits than working here. Oh, look, we're here. And the elevator dings. Let me see if I can pull up lab ambience.
Lab ambience.
Here we go.
We love research lab ambience. Background lab sounds to focus on coding, working, and studying.
There you go. Oh,
Oh shit.
you arrive, and yes, you are in a very. You guys arrive, and you arrive in a very big atrium with a giant sort of spacey sort of thing in the center. I don't know. It's all very like science. Like you know how the Baxter Building looks in like Marvel Rivals. Kind of looks like the inside of that. Just a bunch of sleek technology stuff hanging around.
Whoa, you used to research here?
Yes. That is why I need my research back. Even if I cannot have access to the same resources, the progress I've made is already more than enough to get a head start again. I will build my own lab on the moon! And she sort of has to stop herself because she almost yells that out too loud and someone turns her head. Anyways,
Hammer crushes these now, yes?
No.
Not yet, not yet.
After.
Not yet. Not until I've gotten my research. Now just act natural and follow me to the computer over there. But don't hit it. She walks over to like a computer terminal and takes out a sort of unassuming looking like flash drive. She plugs it in. Now let's see if they've kept my password. Oh yes, they didn't change it. How naive of them. The security here kind of is really bad. Did you know that the admin password is admin password?
Wow, that's really weak.
And after a few minutes, she goes, yes, finally, it's done. I have it. And she's kind of holding it in her hand, and then it kind of slowly floats out of her hand. She's very victorious. She's kind of forgotten where she is. She goes, I have it. I finally have it. And then as she's about to say something, a sort of gleam of sort of golden substance comes flying out of the corner of the room and catches the thumb drive mid-air, and it sticks to the wall. The sort of yellow crystally sort of characteristic. And she goes, oh no. You! And she turns around. And guess who is next? Guess who's sort of been sort of sneaking around on the roof of this atrium? Your old friend, the reliable, the friendly neighborhood Sting.
Oh, a bug.
Whoa ho ho! Sister Saturn! Haven't seen you here in ages since your little accident. You son of a... Whoa, hold on now. That's not language to use in this sort of company. Oh, and I see you made some friends. Oh, I see you've made those friends.
Excuse
Hammer remembers Bugman.
Excuse me,
Now
sir.
that you can crush.
Insects aren't allowed in the laboratory. You're gonna contaminate the environment.
I'm sorry, have you ever heard of entomology? Insects are allowed in the laboratory.
What is Bugman doing uncrushed?
You didn't crush me. Simple as that. I don't know what to tell you. But you're working for sisters.
Everyone keeps saying that. Hammer definitely crushed Bugman.
Well, I'm here now, uncrushed. And he sort of has that sort of grin under his... Oh, no, he has a mask on. You can't see it. But he sort of makes sort of a gesture. And Sister Saturn, she presses, like, the button on her belt, and her lab outfit goes sort of back to, goes back to her supervillain outfit. You! How did you know I'd be here? Oh, I didn't. But I saw you when I was, around. Boston is my city. Boston is sort of the place where I sort of hang out. It's where my... Don't want to say hive, I'm the only one, but, I'm around. And I saw a very suspicious group of people walking in. And you know what? you just can't leave doors unlocked these days, because you never know who's going to walk into the front door. And lo and behold, here you are, Sister Saturn. You used to be a student here, correct? Yes. Until the accident with the gravitanium. Yes. And now you're crazy enough to work with these guys. Listen, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. I would say maybe the gravitanium has scrambled your mind a bit. She goes, enough! And she rips like the sort of giant astronomical sort of thing in the center of the room, like out of the ground, and it was like bolted to the floor. And she throws it at him, and he thankfully gets out of the way. He's like, "Whoa, whoa! Listen, I know you're a little angry. You know, you didn't really have a parachute once they fired you from here, but you know, I mean, you could be using your mind to help the world. I will help the world. Once I am ruler of it, and the rest of the universe." Well, see, that's not a very helpful thing. Oh, here you go. And he sort of shoots out like another sort of honey trap. And she's been knocked against the wall. Oh, and don't try and struggle. This is a special concoction of honey made with a little tiny shaving of gravitanium in it, so I'm not going to be getting out of your own means. What are you idiots waiting for? Crush him! And she's sort of barking orders from being stuck against the wall. And that is where we're going to leave. And your guys are going to fight Sting next time on RPG.
Hell yeah.
Go.
That was kind of tough, having to be two NPCs on opposing sides.
Yeah,
You played it well.
I don't often do it, but I think it worked out well.
Having NPCs talk to each other is annoying, but you kind of nailed it.
I had a lot of fun. I was really excited to bring Sting back, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of had
I
this...
had a feeling he was going to be the one.
What gave you that feeling? Do you think?
I was just like, oh yeah, he would probably be a student at the same time. Just seemed like that kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, you did hear his backstory as out of character, so you know who.
He's also just very Spider-Man coded.
Yeah, I mean,
So it makes sense that he would be like working at a research lab while being a superhero.
Is that a bad thing, being Spider-Man coded?
No.
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I like this idea of Sting kind of being like a running superhero character when I kind of don't want to use any new ones at the moment.
Yeah.
He'll just kind of always be a thorn in your side.
He's a great, like, everyman.
Yeah.
The lore drop that he's Spider-Man from Boston is crazy too.
Yeah, he is. He was. Yeah. Well, he's not from Boston, but he lives in Boston. He was actually born in. I forget where I wrote down where he was born, but he lives in Boston. He attends MIT.
It's fucking hilarious. The lab is closed. It's fucking hilarious.
And I am so glad I've been able to make some weird offshoot connection to space using gravitanium.
Hell yeah.
I feel like that'll be really good in my back pocket for like future like science bullshit for supervillains and superheroes.
I mean, we already know where the fuck those the crown and sword went. They went straight to hell.
I don't know where they went, man. You're gonna have to wait and find out about that one. But I hope you guys had fun. I'm sorry if it seemed like a bit of a lower stakes session.
No, all good. Man.
No, it was nice to get some extended interactions with NPCs. It was fun.
We also destroyed the Statue of Liberty, so I wouldn't necessarily call it low stakes.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't know if I messed it up with you guys entering the building, if I kind of railroaded that too hard with Sister Saturn, but I just felt like that was something in her character that she had a plan ready to go. She just needed the muscle.
Yeah, she definitely seemed like the kind of character we were going to let guide the operation, because it's like, all right, you know this place, you know what you need.
Yeah,
you do you, and we'll smash.
Yeah, but Yeah, I didn't have a drawing of her ready, unfortunately. But
All good.
But yeah, I feel like a sort of sciencey lab place would be an interesting fight. But yeah, enough about my ramblings. Let's talk about your ramblings. Zingle, what were some moments from both of your teammates that you really enjoyed this session?
All right. One to Gucky for the I liked the visual of the Gucky wave that he that he just like
Yeah.
bowled over a bunch of the clones with.
That was good, yeah.
And then I also I always gotta give Zell props for being like the one singular voice of reason on the party who can like actually communicate with NPCs.
Yeah.
I mean, Gucky can too if he's pretending to be a vampire.
That is true.
If he's in the mood for it.
If he's in the mood for
The spider bartender guy was very I want to say I made him up completely on the fly.
He was pretty chill. I liked him. I liked the bartender.
it. Yeah.
He'll be returning eventually. He'll be like a good like recurring character too. And
Yeah, those are mine.
nice. Zegend. I'm just going in order of the Discord call.
I gotta give one to Dingle for the indignance Oshra not being asked what their goal was.
And then
and
she
the
doesn't know.
mislabeling.
I'm trying to incorporate more the I've sort of been neglecting the aspect of my character that like Oshra is sentient as far as Hammer is concerned.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been neglecting that part of the character, so I wanted to infuse it a little more.
I think he's starting a great dynamic with Saturn woman.
Yeah.
And I really liked Sam's body part actions this session of like extending another hand for the handshake and creating another arm just to salute. Just some great body horror moments as usual.
Yeah. I like to imagine like anytime he's doing anything remotely just like casual, he's still in a super casual pose as he grows a new fucking appendage just to
Yeah.
His regular body barely does anything.
Yeah.
He just grows new appendages all the time.
Very
Yeah.
lazy.
And I like to imagine they just kind of like fall off and they just kind of sit around for
Till they kind of dissolve into dust.
yeah.
Alrighty, good job. And speaking of, Zell, what were your favorite moments?
Have to give one for Zegend for his amazing character work this session. I think you knocked it out of the park with your.
That's so true.
I love that aspect of his character. It's very fun.
I felt like it was gonna be a talky session, so I went with something that was gonna be not me just talking like a retard the entire time.
Fair. And I gotta give one. I think it was mentioned a bit, but I just love seeing Hammer clap back at Saturn for all the moments she's ignoring OSHA. I just love that. With what's the word? But she also giving props to smashing the glasses and knocking them out of the air. I think that's definitely a runner-up for me.
And who wants to be the anti-Joker? Because who had like the worst Joker this session?
It was kind of a Joker light session, actually.
It was
was.
Zell who willingly took a dramatic failure. But
That is true.
That's true. Oh, I thought
Also,
I had another one there.
I feel
But
like
then-
Zell hasn't been anti-Joker in a bit.
you know what, Zell, you're anti-Joker.
You know what? All right. I'm trying to remember what my second joke was. So I only remembered pulling the one. Huh.
And I will export the room.
Hell yeah.
We're all good to go.
Hell yeah.
That's it, everybody. Hope you had fun.
That's all, folks.
Hell yeah.
Do any of you fellas want to play